Well, our top story today from the GatewayPundit.com, breaking: James O'Keefe's media group releases explosive undercover video exposing Prince Andrew's sexual relations with minors and ties to Jeffrey Epstein. We're talking about this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. I'm joined today by my co-host, Sarah Stock, contributor for RiffTV.com. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, and looks like we have a lot of interesting stories to go through.
Absolutely. Christina Lila reports that James O'Keefe's media group released exclusive undercover video exposing Prince Andrew's sexual relations with minors. Check this out. The O'Keefe media group on Wednesday released explosive undercover video of John Bryan, a royal family advisor, exposing Prince Andrew's sexual relations with minors and ties to Jeffrey Epstein. We have the video we'll play here in just a moment, but one of the things that we got to talk about is really how damning this is. Now, this is a 6.5-minute video, so before we talk about that, I want to remind you that we are witnessing a generational decline in men's testosterone levels due to lifestyle choices, diet, and exposure to environmental toxins. Now, this decline can result in persistent fatigue, diminished strength, reduced libido, and mood swings, and an overall loss of vitality, keeping you from feeling your best self. Now, take control of your vitality with Man's Edge right here. You can check this out. It's absolutely an amazing product from Neutronics Labs, the natural solution to support healthy testosterone levels. Man's Edge is more than just a standard booster. It combines powerful ingredients like fenugreek, IGF-1, NO2, and more to help you feel your best. Studies show that fenugreek increases testosterone levels by up to 46%. Plus, with their new liposomal delivery system, you can get 98% absorption direct into your bloodstream. The best part about this is that you can get your vitality back today. Sign up for auto ship and save 50%. Get buy one, get one free. Reclaim your lost youth and energy. Visit a link below now or go to tboostnow.com, TBOOSTNOW.com. Promo code ELIJAH. Save an additional 10% off your first order. Let's jump into this right now. Absolutely damning footage. Congratulations to James O'Keefe and his group. Watch.
250 days in the sea. He never saw us again. I was really pissed because he lied to me. Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, they was underage girls. That's not cool.
John Bryan has been a close confidant to the British royal family for a long time. He worked for Queen Elizabeth II, was, quote, best friends with Princess Diana, and had a long-term intimate relationship with the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson. According to Bryan, he practically raised Sarah Ferguson's children, the princesses Beatrice and Eugene. And Bryan said that he maintained a friendship with Ferguson's husband, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew.
Tell me, like, your story.
So my story, you want to know my story?
What?
Like, I've been so famous at times when I was on the front page of every newspaper on the planet because I was working with the Queen of England.
Okay.
You know, she was Queen Elizabeth. I was working with all the families. Princess Diana was one of my best friends. And I met the Duchess of York.
Okay.
That's Prince Andrew's wife. They were separated. And then Sarah and I sort of fell in love. And we lived together for like 7 years, 6 or 7 years, in my house in England. And I raised their 2 little children. They're so cute.
Wait, her kids?
Beatrice and Eugenie. Those were my children. Those were my kids. I raised those kids.
That's amazing.
Day to day raised. I was father to those kids.
Prince Andrew's connection to Jeffrey Epstein emerged in 2010, when photos showed them walking together in New York's Central Park. Epstein had already been convicted in 2008 of procuring a 14-year-old girl for prostitution. In 2014, a woman named Virginia Giuffre alleged in a Florida court filing that Jeffrey Epstein paid her to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17, a minor. On April 25th, a few weeks ago, Giuffre died by, quote, suicide. Prince Andrew denied Giuffre's sex abuse allegations in a now infamous 2019 BBC interview.
She said she had sex with you 3 times, once on his private island in a group of 7 or 8 other girls.
No.
No to all of it.
All of it. Absolutely no to all of it.
The interview was a public relations disaster for the royal family and prompted the Queen to strip Prince Andrew of his royal duties. In the aftermath of that interview, the prince sought advice from a longtime royal family confidant, John Bryan.
Wait, so you were not friends with Prince Andrew?
Oh, very good. Oh, no, we were very civilized. We'd go have dinner at his house. We'd have dinner at my house to see his kids. So then we go on holiday in the south of France. And I get a big property, like 10 acres,
Okay.
right near Saint-Tropez, right? You know, nobody has 10 acres. I'm on the biggest property, beautiful house.
Okay.
And I rent it so that we have privacy, right? Because there's paparazzi everywhere. There's hundreds
Okay.
of paparazzi, not 10, not 20,
Okay.
hundreds. I know.
And this is already when Prince Andrew
Yes, Prince Andrew.
doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's on the he was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his kid.
2 weeks after Prince Andrew's BBC interview, John Bryan was brought to the Royal Lodge, where Prince Andrew lives, to offer crisis management advice. According to The Telegraph, the meeting was conducted discreetly. At the royal residence, Bryan observed that Prince Andrew was visibly distressed and struggling to focus, reportedly unable to concentrate for more than 40 minutes at a time due to the strain he was under. As reported in the Daily Mail, John Bryan constructed a 5-page document emphasizing that Prince Andrew should publicly show empathy for Epstein's victims. Back in November 2022, Bryan publicly stated that he believed Prince Andrew was innocent of the claims made against him related to the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scheme. Now, in our exclusive hidden camera undercover footage, John Bryan reveals for the first time that Prince Andrew did in fact have sex with underage girls.
Was he already even like involved with like
Of course, other girls. I was so pissed about that. I was really pissed. I was really pissed because he lied to me about it.
lied about
Epstein. Yeah. No, I knew he saw him, but he lied to me that he was such a close friend. I was so pissed. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew, and then I found out he was lying. I was
lying
so
about
pissed.
what? Putting on
No, that he was f***ing underage girls.
Now, our newsroom has some concerns about where this investigation is headed and who may be implicated. But our only motivation in doing these stories is the public's right to know. And if this report and our subsequent reports shine a light into darkness and expose evil, then we are willing to take the risks.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty remarkable because we already knew this, right? He was taken, he was, I think he was the Duke. Was he the Duke of Edinburgh? Or I don't remember what he was, but they took him down, right? They basically said, hey, look, you're not going to have any royal duties. Once you get stripped of those royal duties, you know that there's implication of severe and serious crimes against humanity or the crown, right? Breach of trust, treason. But this is why, in my personal view, we don't have the Epstein files released. It has nothing to do with it being, you know, child porn or whatever Bondi was saying. It is legitimately just because it implicates some of the most influential and highest ranking members of modern society.
Yeah, I don't know why they would ever release that to us. Not sure why anyone believed that was going to happen because, you know, the people who are saying we're going to release it are obviously being controlled by the same people it implicates.
Yeah, and it's kind of a bizarre interaction because we do know, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I mean, it doesn't get more damning than this. The only problem that I have is the rudimentary notion that we're ever going to get, you know, justice or redemption in this world. Like as if we're ever going to get the real show trials for COVID, or that we're going to somehow, you know, have some Nuremberg tribunal, you know, situation. Because when you actually look at even World War II and you realize there really was no Nuremberg, like that was a complete false, you know, farce, right? The Nazis were brought into our government, into our echelon of society, and many of them that, you know, had committed crimes against, you know, the people of the West or against Jews or whatever it is, they end up going to Argentina and Bolivia. So like there was never some great trial of the Nazis, right? And that's why now they'll find a 106-year-old woman who like sig heiled Hitler and then they'll put her in jail or something. And it's like there was no end to that war, right? How do you think we got jets? We took the German aeronautic engineers. So I mean, long story short, I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think this does anything for the royal family. All we know is that we have a new pope.
Yeah, we have a new pope, and he's the first American pope ever. That's kind of cool.
Is his name Captain America?
No, it's not. I'm kind of forgetting what his name is right now.
Okay, we'll just go
I've
with
never
Captain
heard of him
Pope
before.
Erica.
People, I'm hoping for the best. People are saying he's kind of just another Pope Francis, but others are saying he's kind of in the middle, trying to create more unity in the church, bringing together the progressive factions and the conservative. So, I mean, I have a little bit of hope. At least it's a change, and maybe there will be more unity in the church. And yeah, I think that'd be a good thing.
Hope for the Pope.
Hope for the
I like
Pope.
the mentality. That being said, in other news, Trump's new Surgeon General pick triggers massive backlash. Even RFK Jr.'s VP, Nicole Shanahan, weighs in. She was bred and raised as a Manchurian asset. Check this out. Her father, Casey Means, published this book called Felix the Flamingo, which helps kids confused about gender and sexual identities. Felix begins to discover that he is an unusual bird who has lost his way. Laura Loomer pointed out the fact that Casey Means, this is astronomically more disappointing than Kash Patel talking about nativism and anti-Semitism and all the isms. Like Kash Patel coming in as director of the FBI, clearly something happened, right? I don't think he was lying. I think he got in and either they had dirt on him. Because like what guy with power doesn't have skeletons in his closet? I mean, like I am a skeleton, you know what I mean? But I mean like genuinely, we all have one. And I don't think this is even just that. Because I mean like, it's like, oh, what? He cheated on his wife or something like that? Or he, you know, did drugs sometime, you know? I don't think that's really what it was. I'm sure there's something much deeper. Like I threatened to kill his family or something like that. But Casey Means coming in, Casey Means works for big pharmaceutical companies, and, you know, Jack Cruz has been warning the public for a long time. That's one of the main things I went down to El Salvador to talk to him about. When they choose establishment candidates that are connected to Bill Gates, to the WEF, and they put them in charge of our health standards, and reminding you she wrote a book talking about, you know, the causes of health problems and autoimmune disorders, and she intentionally left out vaccines. This is what a Manchurian candidate is. It's like the people that are MAGA and love Trump and they want to put America first, but then they won't be honest about race relations in the U.S. They're giving you someone that gives you 90% of what you want to see, but they're leaving out the key factors. Putting her in charge at HHS as a Surgeon General, this basically means that the big pharmaceutical lobby, the big food lobby, they still control everything. And there is no hope. And I'm losing hope in the Trump administration. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They gave us RFK and promoted the whole Maha thing. That was one of the main reasons I think that Trump won the election. He brought over a lot of people from the left because of that issue. And now it's like, how much of that is actually happening or going to happen, especially when we just like appoint people like this?
Yeah, and that being said, I want to play a video from her, but I want to remind you also, too, that Warren Buffett just invested over $50 billion in energy. Billionaire Ken Griffin increased his oil investments by 150%. Listen up, even Elon Musk says we cannot live without oil. But here's what the Wall Street isn't telling you. There's a smarter way to profit from oil than buying stocks. It's a unique investment that lets you collect monthly royalty checks from America's richest oil fields. You're not buying shares in a company, you're getting direct ownership in oil-producing properties. And you can start with just $25. You can learn more about the #1 oil royalty play for 2025 at ElijahOil.com. That's ElijahOil.com. That's ElijahOil.com to discover how you can collect monthly oil royalty checks starting today. ElijahOil.com. Now, like I mentioned, Casey Means is the Manchurian candidate. It's quite weird. Here she is on Tucker Carlson earlier. Watch.
So imperative for people to understand is that the reasons we're having surgery, the reasons why we're getting sick, the reasons why American competitiveness is plummeting, the reasons why our kids are chronically ill, half of the kids in America are chronically ill, are all from preventable issues. So if you're a doctor who's not spending any time on focusing on that, then unfortunately, for better or worse, you are bankrolling on the problem.
I honestly think you're going to change the world. I mean that. I mean that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just had to say that.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Oh, no, sorry. It's just so, your description of your parents is,
It brings me to tears.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot wait to have children. There is no greater role. There is no greater role in this world. And, I was sold such a bill of lies, like climb the corporate, climb the medical ladder, become the chair of an institution. I can think of no greater thing that we can do than have children and keep them healthy.
Yes.
Right. And I just, up until a couple years ago, I didn't even want to have children because I thought it was a liability to this value system of just like rise the ranks, make money. But I don't think there's anything more important we could be doing than creating healthy children who are thinking for themselves, who are eating healthy food. And I cannot wait for that role. And I think it's a spiritual corruption of our society right now that we have forgotten that this is the most important thing that we can do. It's unbelievable how far off we are. And I think it is deeply a spiritual crisis because we have lost sight of what really matters in our lives.
Man, you were singing my song and much better than I ever could. So that is, sorry. So just completely carried away.
Okay, so the point is that, look, she does say kids are chronically ill. And I don't have anything against Benny Johnson. I love him. He's an old friend of mine. But, like Benny Johnson's one of those guys where his social team will just like put out anything Trump does and be like, this is epic. Yeah. But I think we have to be critical right now. And I'm not an anti-Trump person, but let's be realistic. Mm-hmm. We have Patel, we have Bondi, we have Means. He's filling the cabinet with people that, again, I will be clear. I do not regret my vote for him because it kept my friends out of jail and kept me out of jail too. But I did tell people, there's some other things he might do. He's not really doing them. He's not doing everything bad. The tariffs are a really, really great integral thing that are going to strengthen our manufacturing long term. I think DOGE is making some pretty incredible cuts. I hope to see codified. But I also do not believe that he's able to even have gotten in without doing favors for the very worst in our country. And that's what I believe Bondi is. That's what I believe Patel is. That's what I believe Means is. It's pleasing the deep state. So we're going to see maybe an economic boost a few years from now from these plans, but maybe our dollar will be stronger, but will that really benefit us? I don't know if the cost of living will go down. Maybe it'll just benefit those that already have the American dollar hoarding it, the ultra wealthy. I feel like we're all getting screwed and that it's like it's campaign one all over again. Make promises, don't follow through, and we got bait and switched.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should be afraid to criticize Trump. Obviously, we like him and we voted him in. He's definitely the better option out of the two. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, he had to accept all these, this donor money, all these special interest groups and everything to get in power. It's not like exactly like he can just like move on from that and then not be beholden to anyone more powerful than him as well, too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, we don't have time for the other stories. I just want to remind you, though, that if you want to check out the stories later, co-host Gasp as Greg Gutfeld slams Democrats and media an epic rant about Biden's first interview since leaving office. You can check out that video at thegatewaypundit.com. Plus, Backfire, FBI Director Kash Patel torches nasty Democrat Congresswoman with a reply for the ages after she accuses him of perjury and mocks his memory. Additionally, DOGE provides update on one of the biggest scams uncovered by Musk's team. You can read more of those stories there. You can also grab our mug at our mug club, thegatewaypundit.com. It is a nice mug. It is weighty. It is embossed. It feels amazing in the hand, and it can go right in your cabinet. Make sure you pick one up today. My name is Elijah Schaffer. You can follow me anywhere you want. It's my name, and you can follow me online. If you want to follow Miss Stock here, Sarah, where can they find and follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. It's Sarah C. Stock on Elon Musk's X. And then you can also find me on Instagram, where I like to post some reels talking about politics at sarah.stock.politics.
Amazing. The rest of you guys have a great rest of the week. May God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.